Right on, right on, right on.
Tracking nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. I started tracking nutrients on Chronometer when I increased fish in my diet. I tracked from August 30th to October 31st, 2023. Since I'm tracking, I decided it would be fun to get a visual of other nutrients that I'm consuming. Before I show the graphs, hear this.
Pictorial analysis recently of nutrients, of the nutrient iron. And she showed that to get bioavailable iron in the same quantity as you would get in, say, 1 ounce of clams or a small chicken thigh, you would have to eat 57 cups of broccoli. So that particular image conjures up, the reality of the mountains of food that you have to eat in order to match the nutrient availability in animal source foods, I think.
And when it comes to arguments for this diet and people advocating that they can still get their full nutrition from it when it comes to plant only, I feel like as you're explaining that, a big part of the confusion must come from the fact that some of these vitamins, you mentioned the beta carotene example, we can use that. The fact that they need to be converted to more usable forms. And to me, because of that, it allows for this argument to even take place. So it's important we're hashing that out. The fact that beyond beta carotene, there's other examples as well. Plants, even though they may contain a similar form of nutrition, a lot of times it needs to be converted to a different form for the body to utilize.
So vitamin D, D2, D3, for instance, is another example. So I think that this is almost the next frontier of understanding that we have to get into the public sphere, because food labeling will list certain vitamins, the priority vitamins that you're getting on certain foods, packaged foods or fresh foods or whatever. But it doesn't deal with that bioavailability conversion issue. And I think that that's really the next obligation of public health authorities to make sure that people understand that eating a carrot is not the same as eating an egg. You're not. You have to do more than that. So whether we will see that level of sophistication as we talk about nutrition going forward in the public sphere, I don't know. I really hope so. But at the moment, we're battling against a lot of other forces that are preventing that discussion.
I get the impression that, Jane, you're somebody who's anti-plant. I want to be clear up front that you are an advocate for a well-balanced diet, including plants, and do find value in them. It's only in the extreme of eliminating meat and animal products that you find cause for worry.
Exactly. I'm a big fan of plants. Throughout most of my life, I probably ate more plants than animal foods. I had a bias towards uh, plant-based eating. I never was exclusively plants, but I love them for most of my life. I started including animal source foods in my diet to a greater extent about 5 years ago. And I would have some, but I realized their importance about 5, 6 years ago. Um, there's no question that there's that complementarity between the two sets of foods, and the vitamins and minerals in those foods interact in a very, very complex way. It's very difficult to replicate that by popping a pill for the missing bits, because you never know whether you're getting the right amounts of other vitamins to allow that particular vitamin that you're taking to be absorbed properly and to be used by the body. So I do think that the two types of foods are complementary, and that you do run into trouble with a plant-based diet because you're cutting out so many nutrient-dense foods, but you're also getting an overload of some anti-nutrients probably. So if you're going to, for example, rely on spinach for your iron and not get it from any animal food sources, you might be tempted to eat a lot of spinach, cups and cups of it in smoothies and on your, with your dinner or whatever. And we know that spinach is high in oxalates. And oxalates have a particular problem, it cause particular problems in the body, the most notable one being kidney stones, but also arthritic joints and gastro problems and different types of issues in different people. And it really does stand to reason that if you're only getting your vitamins from plants, you're going to maybe overdo it on some of them, on some of those anti-nutrients.
I don't have a specific target, but I do want to supply my body with sufficient nutrients so that I am as healthy as can be achieved. With the caveat in mind that nutrients consumed are converted to nutrients needed, and we do not have sufficient information regarding that process. These graphs are an indication per chronometer of what I ate during the tracking period in regards to vitamins C and D and minerals, calcium, sodium, and iron. The first graphs are dailies, and I put an indication of what the recommended daily is, a solid line drawn across. What I do understand is that supplementation is a bad idea unless it's based on actual blood work, and further that the manufactured materials sold as supplements can cause more harm than any good because of its manufactured process and its being administered without sufficient information or understanding as to the overall balance of the body that consumes it. I had added vitamin D and K2 to my daily routine, but found that I started to have gut issues, pain, and bloating. No more supplements for me. I have enough issues without causing more from trying too hard to be healthy. I'm going to learn more about the foods I consume, choose foods that provide balance and are rich in nutrients, get enough sunshine, increase activity, and take up meditation and breathing. I'd list sleep here, but if I concern myself with sleeping, I'll tip the relax into concern. I'm going to just work on relax so I can sleep for the maximum needed hours. And I'm going to trust that my body will achieve the rest needed. 2 other videos are in play regarding this tracking period. First, tracking nutrients, the omegas, and second, tracking nutrients, fats, proteins, and carbs. Onward and upward. Hey, thanks for watching.